Alright, let's save the Crucible Knights.
Leave it to me!
And that's how it's done.
Yes. Thank you. Oh. Fight back. Oh, okay. Oh, why is it paused?
Can't get a good shot with the...
You're not getting through me. That's it!
Man. These things are crap.
Slow down. We got time to catch our breath.
I don't know what your problem is. Oh, we should probably check here. Okay. Let's check in here. The dining room. Nope. And probably.
Leave it to me! Varanthus!
Oh, that must be all. Speak to Commander Barber now. After I loot all the corpses. Let's go speak to Commander Cliver. Yeah, you don't look so good anymore.
1 minute. My Justiciars were training the Forge Knights. In the next, they were being cut to pieces. But the survivors owe their lives to your skill. You fought valiantly, worthy of any seasoned soldier. In fact, I'm naming you an honorary Justiciar.
Oh.
As a reward for your service, please accept this blade and armor, worthy of a Knight of the Crucible. If there's anything else I can do for you, you need only ask.
Oh.
I'll send word to Fleetbreaker Castle immediately. We clearly didn't understand the Forge Knights as well as we thought. For now, we'll have to continue recruiting the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. That might be for the best. The Forge Knights are obviously too unpredictable to use safely.
I'm glad you agree with my assessment of the situation. And if I'd listened to Dunstan, none of this would have happened in the first place. I won't make that mistake again.
Oh, I've gained things. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we don't have an army of Forge Knights running around. So yeah, you want to do something for me at the invitation to the Animancy hearings? And we'll be glad to have you with us. Avar will no doubt find your presence persuasive, and we need all possible support to see that he gives Animancy a fair chance. Indeed. Why, indeed? Yeah, I think Animancy deserves a fair chance. Or is there something else I can do for you? No. I helped defend the Crucible Keep. Now that this deal is done, I've been invited to join the Knights of the Crucible's delegation. Oh, return to Lady Web. Very good.
The Crucible Knights have their ambitions, but the stability of Defiance Bay is foremost in their mind. The Dukes are thinking only of their trading assets, not the long-term health of our partners in the Deerwood. If Defiance Bay falls, all we will have left are overland routes. Not much comfort.
Um, I don't want anything to happen, bad to happen to Defiance Bay either. She nods sharply. Good. When we tell the Duke, I hope he believes us. Okay.
Segani, what is it like not to see your children for so long? I imagine it must be difficult.
Even in Masuk, I'm on the hunt more than at home. But 5 years. It's been a strain.
Then to your good fortune. Ado Vidorio. May you see them all again soon.
Oh, how sweet. Wait. Oh, no, it's in right? Brackenberry. It's Hadred House.
Slow down. We got time to catch our breath.
I don't know why she keeps saying that. Is it because I keep doing the main quest so much? Do you want to go to an inn and rest? Who are you, by the way? Oh, no, we don't want to look at a vibrant history. Those are long and, well, sometimes they're interesting, but not quest related at all.
How fares your search?
Oh, I have another option here. So, if I'm going to do this for you, I think it's time you told me everything about Theos.
I've told you everything you need to know.
Yeah, but you haven't told me everything.
It's only right that you know everything. When I was younger, before Dunreed Row, I had many suitors. These were fine-looking men of good stock, but I could see their thoughts, and they were unimpressive. Boys' thoughts. I toyed with their affections. I resented all of them. And then I met a man whose mind was a mystery to me. But he understood me. He knew me at a glance, told me things I didn't know about myself. He was neither handsome nor charming, but he was all I ever wanted.
You're talking about Theos?
We made a game of my gift. He would ask me about people, and I would tell him what they were thinking. Sometimes the information was very sensitive. And then one day he asked me if I trusted him. I said I did. Next I knew I was donning a silver mask and swearing oaths to Woodica. Using my gift for the leaden key still felt like a game to me, so I did it. I did it because it pleased him.
But it didn't last, obviously, because you're here.
I don't like living in the dark. It's a powerless, hopeless feeling. Every day I did things without knowing their purpose. Every day I loved a man without knowing his thoughts of me. I sensed that there were things he wanted to tell me. I sensed that he knew everything the leaden key was created to hide. But Theos was unyielding. One day I disappeared without a word. He would kill me for it, and I knew that. It's their rule. I just wanted to see him plunge the knife, because then I would know. But the day never came. He has left me to wonder. I have devoted my years to learning everything I could about him, in hopes I would find some clue as to who he really was, and why he felt he had to keep his secrets locked away. I have precious little to show for it. Just an old woman nagged by old thoughts. And that is truly everything I can tell you about Theos. I hope you will accept this embarrassing story as a show of my good faith.
Huh. Well, let's discuss the Animancy hearings.
What of them?
Well, the Knights of the Crucible have accepted me into their delegation.
Good. Avar Wolfgren looks to the Crucible Knights as a voice of reason and order. Speaking from their section should lend you credibility with him. You need waste no more time here. Get to the palace. Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Deerwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key, and Theos can be rooted out. I only wish I could be there to see it. There is a very old bottle of a very good brandy that I have been saving for a special day. If you hurry back afterward, there may be a little left for you. Off with you. You're going to do very well in there.
Okay. Off to the palace. I have a suspicion. I'm just making a guess. I don't know. This is a blind playthrough. But I have a suspicion that she isn't going to last much longer. Especially after that long story about her being involved with Theos. I feel like she's going to get murdered. This is the quickest way out.
How about we take a break?
Oh yeah, I still need to get those fires lit. That lady in here is needing help with that. That was from a long time ago. What's in here? Oh, I bet it's in here. This looks fancy. The palace has been reserved. A place has been reserved for you on the balcony. Go to the upper levels. Wait, is this it?
Welcome.
Oh, just looking around. Sorry. Eder frowns at you and slaps his forehead but says nothing. Yeah, I know. We need to look at the records, but maybe it's over here. This does look open. I don't feel like I've gone through this before. Wait, what have I done? Oops. Wait, so can I go in there? No. Wait, where am I supposed to go? Maybe in here? Oh, that would be stealing. Maybe I should talk to this person. Looking for news. No. No, I'm not. Wait, but it's not up here. Oh. Oh, what do you bet it's here? Like, they're having the meeting, and he's saying, go up here to the balcony. You would be attending Trinity. The balcony has been opened just for you. Oh, okay. Thanks. The room below is animated amidst a heated debate. All the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowd. Crucible knights, stiff in their noisy armor, sit in one section. In another are well-dressed members of the House of Dominal, casual, watching with a predator's interest. Still elsewhere are the ramshackle dozens, who have made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord. Interspersed are the animancers in their academics' robes, with expressions either sour or concerned.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you Animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy, what progress can you demonstrate?
Ramir de Barask is originally from Palminia. He's one of the finest minds in Animancy to come out of the Valian Republics. He left for Defiance Bay 5 years ago, because he believed this was the true heart of Animancy research.
In Pelagina's words and the way she looks at her countryman, you see both pride and a mild sense of frustration.
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
And I suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more! Animancy goes, or this country goes!
So you admit, Master Barask, that Animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it ever was?
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure! We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
The experiment failed, yes, but his work...
His work was sabotaged.
Ah, our new delegate from the Knights of the Crucible. What makes you say sabotage?
Well, I met a false patient in Brackenberry Sanitarium who had tampered with Azo's machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children.
Lord, that's not family friendly. It's part of the game, so I'll allow it, but just for now.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
Well, I guess I only have two options. Well, yeah, Yeah, he's here. His ambitions, though, kind of exceeded his ethics. This isn't looking good for Animancy. Aloth whispers between gritted teeth. After the farce we saw at the sanitarium, I couldn't agree more.
Exactly! Look at what happened in Heritage Hill. Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves!
Oh, we're pointing fingers. That's not very nice of you.
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Oh, they're pointing fingers too. Let's get to the point, people.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justicia! You turn a blind eye, and look what happens!
Well, I've actually been to Heritage Hill since the quarantine. Though the knights were unable to control the damage, it was not Animancy, but an ancient machine that caused it. Or wait, I can say the Crucible Knights are blameless. It was not the workings of Animancy, but an ancient device. Let's kind of give the Crucible Knights a little bit of help here. Yeah, the Crucible Knights were blameless. It wasn't their fault they couldn't control it. It was way out of their league.
You've some strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
Honest. Yes, my word is my oath. I challenge anyone here to find someone who knows different.
I had heard whispers of a new delegate set to attend today's hearing. I admit that your candor was mentioned more than once. Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Well, Ter Nowinth houses an Engwathian machine that holds dominion over the flow of souls. It was that machine that made the district undead. Do you think that was the machine's purpose? Or just a dire side effect? Kana shudders. But then, why would the Engwathians build such a machine at all?
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
We'll use my intellect. Their presence doesn't prove cause. This testimony is not evidence. It's just a guess.
Animancy has many enemies. You need only look around this room to see it.
Well, I think they have good intentions. I think Animancy is just something they need to figure out how to control.
You're missing the point! Everywhere there's Animancers, there's disaster! We all know what Widewind's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge! It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it!
Edric Morley needs to, have his mouth washed out with soap. He shouldn't say these words.
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
Oh, I've got proof. Pick me, pick me.
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't own no land, so that's where we lay them. My son. My wife let him slip when she was bathing him. Got water in his lungs he couldn't cough up. My daughter? We put her to bed one night, and the next morning she wasn't breathing. This Hollowborn thing, it ain't ending. And it ain't ending because we still let these charlatans play God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker!
Bleep. I should bleep him out every time he tries to say words that are inappropriate. Well, this makes sense why he's so angry. His children died. Of course he would be angry. And he's trying to throw the blame on someone, and it just happens to be Animancy, which I get. That's stressful.
Enough, Adric. Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's Animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate?
That's a good point.
Who among us can say he truly understands why the legacy has taken hold here?
Oh, I can. Pick me. The crowd begins to mutter, the sound taking a doubtful character. Waidwin's legacy is the creation of the Leaden Key. Caedmon Azzo's downfall was their work, and it was the tower in Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want Animancy to fall. Dull muttering expands to a din of skepticism that fills the hall. I have seen them in the ruins of Ir Glanfath, operating machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls near towns like Gilded Vale and Deerford, where the legacy is universal. As a watcher, I don't know if I should have told him I was a watcher. That seems to cause problems. As a watcher, I have heard their dead confess their plot. They are stealing the souls of the unborn.
Beasts. Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
Your quips cannot change the truth.
You must know, friend, that the Leaden Key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play. I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe you.
Okay. What am I? There's a lot of text here. Let me look through it. So, what's more likely? The gods are destroying Deerwood for a science practiced in many parts of the world, or that a group of people hates Animancy and wants it suppressed? The Leaden Key is very real. They are foreigners from Deerwood. I hate Deerwood wants you to suffer. Let's say Alora's. If he tells her to stop, she'll only want. Oh, that's a weird answer. We all want the same thing here. If we want wait a second again, we can stop it. Yeah, I like the first option. So what's more likely? The gods are destroying Deerwood for a science practiced in many parts of the world? Or a group of people hates Animancy and wants it suppressed? Another guess. Throw her out, Your Grace. She's wasting our time. Well, there's not a guess here. I've seen these people carrying out their mission in the ruins of Ir Glanfath.
The Justicia's right! This is sanitarium talk!
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least. How was it you came to learn all this?
So I can talk about the Knight's Crucible. Well, did the Knight's Crucible even help? I don't remember that they did. If by bringing them in my argument here, I'm trying to get them on my side, I guess. So it's a politics play, I think. It's not the honest answer, but I guess they were instrumental in aiding my investigation because they got me here to talk about it. But I don't know that they were really that helpful. But it's politics. Let's play politics. The Knights of the Crucible were instrumental in aiding in my investigation.
I see. I'm impressed the Knights seized such an unlikely opportunity to find an end to all of this. But these hearings are about more than Widewind's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious, what would you do if you were in my position?
Let's see. Allow animancers to continue their work. We want to understand more. If you don't study it, someone else will. Okay. They've been given a long leash. It should be restricted and controlled. I'm not confident Animancy doesn't have something to do with this. It'd be wise to ban it, or it's too dangerous. We weren't meant to use it, and we have proven why we are unworthy of it. It should be outlawed. Oh. So it's like, let it go free or restrict it completely. I'm kind of in the middle. They've kind of been given a long leash. Obviously some bad things have happened because people haven't been watched closely. So I don't want to ban it. I just don't feel like they should just do everything they want to do and possibly hurt people by it. So that one. The Animancers of Deerwood have been given too long a leash. It should be restricted and controlled. Pelagina shoots a glance your way, her eyebrows furrowing in annoyance. I'm sorry. And just who would regulate it? Charlatans like Azo, or fools like Ethamore, clueless at what goes on within their own walls? Well, at least some regulation is better than no regulation.
Very well. That is all I wish to hear. Not just from you, but from everyone. Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest. I want to thank the delegations for helping me collect my thoughts, and our new delegate, who, if nothing else, has made this final day a little more interesting. The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood. I am ready to make my pronouncement.
Oh.
Ramir D. Barash, representing the interests of Animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
Oh, did someone just open a door? Yeah. Who's this? This doesn't look good.
The arguments for and against animancy are both strong in their own way. I must be careful in my judgment.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our
He's
own.
not himself.
What's he doing?
No, wait!
Stop this at once!
Well,
I've given you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you? Another time. I am already late.
oh, I fainted. The words, "Shall I end it for you?" ring in your ears. You find yourself gasping for breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You drop to a knee and watch as Theos hurries out of the building. The world dims around you, the screams and clashing of weapons fading to silence. All that remains are the words.
Shall I end it for you?
Theos stands at the pulpit, high above an assembly of robed onlookers, you among them, clustered around a wide, circular pit, carved of stone. He addresses a woman bound backwards over a large iron wheel overlooking the great stone maw. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed, and the bottoms of her feet are charred black. The skin on one side of her face looks like melted candle wax, black and red and seeping, and the angle of her back suggests a spine in ruins. Yet for all of that, her expression betrays little of her anguish.
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
Her eyes barely open, and her words come between strangled breaths. But they are steady, unbroken.
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none. I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
He nods to a hooded attendant who begins untying her from the wheel. Trinity was granted dominion of the sleepers. I don't know what that is. I guess we'll figure it out. You open your eyes to the beamed ceiling of the palace's grand entry hall. The clangs of metal striking metal waft from the outside alongside the cries of the injured as you stagger to your feet. Theos is gone. Adair leans in, his head upside down in your sight as he peers down at you from above. Hey, you're alive. He looks at you over, frowning. Can you move? We shouldn't stick around. When the Deerwoodians get stirred up, they like to start burning things. Off to one side, you can hear the clinking rustle of chainmail, and you look over to see a wounded guard slumped against the wall. He is trying to say something, seemingly directed at you. But at first, it's too faint to hear. He gathers his breath and manages to rasp out a few words. Lady Webb. She's She must be told. She'll know what to do. Please, find her. Tell her everything. The guard passes out and slides to the floor. Still. Okay, well that was chaotic. Now the Duke's dead by Theos. Animancy's probably up a creek now, but I guess that's what he wanted. I guess when you don't go out there, there's rioting in the streets. Oh, well, let's go out the side door. Yeah. Oh, unlocking the, wait, what? Unlocking this will require the proper key. Oh, okay, guess I'm not going to unlock that. Oh, bless. There's going to be no case for animancy now. I guess when you can take over someone and make them do things, when you take over the right person, I guess you can cause all kind of havoc, can't you? Oh. It looks like this game is forcing me down a certain path. Because I'm assuming I can't exit this way, can I? Yeah, it's gonna force me to go this way. So I guess we'll go through here. We'll maze our way through this. Oh, yeah. They're riding. Oh, seen him at the sanitarium. Get him. Oh, I can't talk. Wait. Oh, you terrible people. Don't murder people just because they look suspicious. Ooh, plants. These lot are in league with the Animancers. Crucible Knights. Sorry. Oh. This is inevitable. I don't think there's anything I can do about it either. Okay, we need to get to Hadrit House. Ooh, boots. Can we equip the boots? They're Animancer boots. Wait, where'd they go? Boots. Minor spellbound jolting touch shock. Oh, we'll give them to our wizard. There, take some boots, Ayla. Oh, yeah, the sanitarium. That's up in flames. Oh, jeez. I hope Lady Webb's not dead. Well, at this point, I don't even know. Oh gosh, there's dead people. Uh-oh. This isn't looking good for Lady Webb. Oh. I guess it's not really appropriate for me to loot corpses, but... Oh, jeez. I wonder if Lady Webb is in on it. Their coinage isn't really doing. Uh-oh. What's going on in here? Uh-oh. No! Lady Webb lies still in her bed, an ornate cushion propping her back upright. The blood pooled beneath a gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry. A shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling hand. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence. In your kin? I don't know what a kin is, but something. Oh, what did I tell you? I told you she was gonna die. You make contact and are immersed in a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it calms, you find yourself in the same room, lying in bed with a glass of brandy in your hand. Oh, that's that brandy she's been keeping. She drank it, and it was poisoned. Through the walls from the streets outside come the sounds of screams and shattering glass and the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a sip, and it warms your gullet. She's gonna die. Across the room, the door opens behind a patient. Steady push. Into the room walks Theos, the floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of the brandy has trickled down your throat before you speak. Oh, she may not have been poisoned. Maybe she was just murdered.
I was a fool to think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
She's funny.
No worse than any.
You are concentrating, focusing with all of your energy. It feels as though you are diving into a stone wall over and over, but it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing the vaguest wisp of a thought to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
I've had time to practice.
He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty brandy bottle to eye level. He seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach for an empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
Pity. You know this is how it has to be.
He replaces the brandy bottle on the table with care before approaching the bedside. He sits on the edge of the bed next to you. His words come freely, absent of all doubt. He draws a long, curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other, its point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
Theos slips the knife between your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate with the brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. A pulse of reflex causes you to drop your glass to the floor, and you hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife hand in both of yours, a question radiant in your mind. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes. Simple, cataclysmic in its reordering of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as though you have had an answer you searched for all your life. But in your own mind, her understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Theos with the wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time, and draw your last breath as a black, velvety darkness descends over you. And that's the end of Act 2.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenbury Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the Leaden Key itself.
Twin Elms. What is in Twin Elms? What knowledge did Lady Webb have that pointed her in that direction? I guess we'll have to find out. The Assassin at Large. Travel to Twin Elms. I'm talking to this guard. The city is burning in flames, and what did he say? Joining the Crucible Knights is a high honor. The flood's ever seeded the pass through Stormwall Gorge is open. Oh, okay. Where is Twin Elms? Hey, that's where I was. The Silandalis. There's that machine. Drakard Village, Drakard Crossing, Elms Reach. I don't even know where Twin Elms is. I guess that's something I'm gonna have to figure out. Oh, Twin Elms. There's a big text right here on the bottom right. Twin Elms. I guess it's where the Burial Isle, Old Song, Elms Reach, Hearth Song, that little area is Twin Elms. Oh, Stormwall Gorge. That's what these people were just talking about. Stormwall Gorge is now open because the flood has receded. So I guess that's why I can now go through to Twin Elms. Oh, okay, okay. Very good. I think I want to go to my keep though and see how that's going. Hey. You look awesome. Who are you? Oh, Vibrant History. We don't care about that. As you cross the bridge, Aloth draws up beside you. The fires of Defiance Bay cast a shivering, flickering light across one half of his face. The other is in darkness.
Please stop. I need to tell you something.
Go ahead.
I have not been entirely honest about my motives for traveling with you up to this point.
Oh.
When I finished my training in Adir, I was introduced to an organization. All I knew was that they were opposed to the unchecked spread of animancy, and that they could guarantee me postings far away from the Seathwood my father and his Earl. At that time, it was enough. In the early years, I thought of them as many things. Hooded men, prudent teachers, the Leaden Key. Their rules were strict, but their guidance was clear. I sincerely believe they wanted to keep Kith from the folly of their own foolish ambitions. I came to the Deerwood a little over a year ago. My orders were to gather information on animancy in the region.
So are you a spy?
A senior contact met with me every few months to receive my reports and issue new leads. She sent me to Gilded Vale to keep an eye on events surrounding the local lord, but I lost track of her shortly after that. I don't know if she was reassigned, killed, or sacrificed, the way you saw. By the time you met me, I'd been on my own for a couple of months.
Oh. What did you want from me? So you were just sitting there in that town waiting for me? Well, let's just...
I needed some kind of direction. And after that scrape with the locals, I was ready to get out of town. But then you mentioned that you'd survived that Beowick, and I thought you might be able to put me back on the Leaden Keys trail. And I was correct in a way. What we found wasn't what I expected. I knew the Leaden Key was trying to stop Animancy, but I didn't realize how far they'd gone. Murder, sabotage, abandoning entire districts to shambling horrors. And now the whole city is up in flames.
I don't know why the Leaden Key is trying to stop Animancy, but they are Animancers, so why would they want to stop it other than, I guess, to keep people from knowing the things they know? I don't...
I'm still not sure about Animancy, but I know I've been following the wrong master. Please, accept my apology, and my service. Let me fight with you to stop Theos.
And what do you really expect us to do with this too-late confession? Trust you on your word?
Pelagina shakes her feathered head and holds her hands out towards Aloth as though framing him in her view. The corners of Sagani's eyes crinkle. A team can't survive without trust. All the same, I think he means it, Trinity. I still kind of feel attached, even with the betrayal. He's got this way of taking offense that I really like. Tough one. So I can just say apology accepted. I can assert my authority. I can just say, hey, I don't need, I'm not your master. I can send him on his own way. I'll be really, well, I'll just be nice, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, we're like, I'm not gonna say that. Okay, apology accepted, Aloth.
Thank you. This is a great burden off my shoulders.
His voice is solemn and quiet. Hey, I have an option to discuss things. Let's do that. Why not? So, now you understand a little bit more about Isilmir, your second personality, who's really funny. He wrinkles his nose. No thanks to that Animancer. My spleen? Black bile? Come on. Belisiege's methods were flawed, but you still learned something, didn't you? Only because you and I have a lick of good sense between us. But the average person, show them a shiny gadget in the hands of an expert and they'll believe anything. Yeah, that's can be true. People are sometimes too easily led. Yes, people need something to believe, someone to follow. And the danger of following a bunch of Animancers is that they don't even know where they're headed. Aloth looks at you with quiet attentiveness. Yeah, about your parents. He looks at you cautiously. Yes? Why was your mother gone so often? She was invited to join a Hamnig with a landed Thane when I was very young. His estate was a 5-day ride from our home in the Sithwood, so that was part of it. He gives you the smallest of frowns. The real issue, however, was my father. Despite his initial agreement with the arrangement, Father was never happy with it. He would hound and harangue my mother when she was home. He wanted to know whether she was intimate with the Thane, or no matter how many times she swore she wasn't, it was never enough. As you can imagine, that led to her coming home much less often, even though she still supported us financially. Yeah, I'm sure she was trying to take care of you in her own way. I believe so. She had an important role managing the Lord Thane's lands and administrative duties, even though she was away. She provided well for us. It sounds like your father had a problem with his temper. He had a problem with my mother's haymeg, even though they agreed upon it long ago. That the financial benefits would be considerable, and that it was little different from his role as the Earl's steward. It ate at him, and so he drank and raged. When she was home, he raged at her, and when she wasn't, he raged at me. More than anything, he wanted me to become an arcane knight in the service of his Earl. I think he felt this would validate his chosen career and master. He was a firm man, as you saw, but in the end, I became a successful wizard, due in no small part to his strictness. I guess it's hard to see that at the time, but sometimes the pressure is useful. My thoughts exactly. At this point, I can easily say that the skills I learned were worth the challenges. Now, what's a hamnig? A ceremonial marriage between folk and elf, because the Adir mainland has historically been split between the two races. We have many institutions that are designed to normalize relations. Our monarchy is headed by the folk, but an elven consort rules alongside the reigning Faerkoning or Mequin. This is the most prominent example of a hamnig. In many cases, a hamnig allows two households to pool resources. Among the aristocracy, hamnigs consolidate power. Sometimes, as in my mother's case, a hamnig is a means for a noble to add another administrator to his or her household. Consorts are received with almost the same level of respect as their noble counterparts, which can be extremely useful. Of course, hamnigs are sometimes used to sanitize an extramarital affair. He shrugs. I don't really know that it's any better, but it seems to satisfy the common notions of decency. And elfin folk unions are sterile, which no doubt eases some concerns. Okay, well that's all I really want to know. He looks relieved. Very well. Yeah, wait, how did you exactly come to join the Leaden Key? As often with such follies, I was young and directionless. The Leaden Key promised some of the structure I was lacking, and they offered me a future far removed from service to my father's earl. Animancy is, possibly, even more controversial in Adir than it is here. The practice has been outlawed for 600 years, but the prohibition has a way of breeding curiosity. The success and relative acceptance that animancy has found here and in the Vailian republics spurred a renewed interest in Adir. The Leaden Key began recruiting more aggressively, and I was in the final period of my training when one of my instructors reached out to me. He shrugs. As I said, it was a welcome departure from my father's plans, and after seeing a few of my colleagues abandon their studies in magic to pursue animancy in the republics, I was convinced that something needed to be done to stop the spread. Okay. Okay, let's go to my keep in Cadnua. And see what's going on there, check on it, and then maybe we will continue our quest.
Better indeed.
Ah. Return to court. Quest added. What? Oh, the messenger in the Great Hall. Let's look around and see what's going on. Hello. Waiting on your orders, my lady. I guess that's the guy I hired. Who is this? That's the other guy I hired, I guess. Something you want? Nope. Nope, just looking around. Don't mind me. all seems to be in shambles still. Ah, yeah, lovely. Hey, but this looks nice. Look at this. What's this? So reputation is a thing. Oh. I feel like I've lots of dust and crap everywhere. The outside looks nice though. That's something. New shelves that smell rich with freshly cut timber. How nice. The rest of the place looks like crap. But at least that looks nice. I guess it's progress. Oh, athletics. Climbing, swimming, jumping, scripted interactions. Oh. How nice. Oh. Sleeping quarters. The window on the other side of the curtain looks down on a tangled mess of overgrown hedges. Yeah, it's a work in progress. Oh look, it's a nice little overlook into the trashy ruins below. But the upstairs is nice. What's in the drawers? I guess it's not stealing, it's mine. Can I like play stuff in here? Well, it's just a little nice place to rest. Hey, Devlin, you're back. It's good to see you. I'm doing good. I am playing some Pillars of Eternity, and yes, I'm having some fun at my keep. I was coming back to explore it since I've had some upgrades to it. Because I just finished Act 2. Yeah.
The keep's coming along nicely.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Kana. Things are happening. And Devlin, I noticed Brazil is in the World Cup, playing Mexico tomorrow. Good luck. Okay, here's the messenger. Oh, wait, that's not the messenger. That's my hired dude. Here's the messenger. Pardon the intrusion, milady. Chancellor Warren urgently requests that you meet him at the Charred Barrel in Brackenbury. Is it about Cadnua again? I don't know. My apologies, my lady. I'm merely a messenger. Okay, I'll meet with him when I can. Great. Oh yeah, I'm sure the Mexico-Brazil game will be good. I will attempt to watch I'll be at work when it's going on, but I will try to watch it. Oh yeah, he's leaving in 4 days. This dude. I don't know if... Oh, this is finished in 14 hours, so Durance can deal with this dude at some point. How long do we have on... Oh, 18 hours on this. Okay. Very good. I wonder if I can get anywhere... Oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna rest, I think. Oh wait.
Say what you want about Dear Woodens, but they haven't met the problem yet that they couldn't solve by killing some scapegoats.
He flashes a hollow smile. You fight for the people because, well, you see something there that deserves some defending. Even more so because someone you trust sees it too. Then you turn around and they do something like this. And the person who made you want to help them, well, they're gone. Well, They were doing what they think the gods want of them. Well, it's nice that they mean well, but how can organized murder be their best guess? Although, well, come to think of it, maybe they're just following Waidwin's example. He was purging his own long before Deerwood got the idea. Only, well, he was purging because they weren't Eothasian enough. Eothasian enough, yeah. Never thought I'd find myself missing the hospitality back home. Okay. Okay, yeah, I want to rest. And then I want to go down to the basement and see if we can progress more. I may need to check my level. I don't know what level I am.
The keep's coming along nicely.
Oh, thank you, Kana. 7. Yeah. Okay, let's get some rest. Devlin, you're asking if I've started the white part content yet? Oh, you started a new game. Oh, okay, but you're having a tough time. Oh, the white part content yet? I don't think so. White March part yet? No, I don't think I've gotten to the White March yet. Oh, no, I don't think so. Right now, the next thing I have to do is go to Twin Elms. So that has opened up. And I need to go over here to Twin Elms and do stuff. So that's where I am. Okay, let's rest. Yeah, let's pick a bonus. Oh, security reports that trolls and oozes will attack the stronghold in 4 days. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about that. Oh, I haven't downloaded the DLC. Oh, no. I have not downloaded the downloadable content. Yeah, no, sorry. No. I guess I could. I haven't thought about it. Yeah, I'll consider it. Okay, we have quested. I believe the next thing will be finished in 9 hours. Alright. Oh, you recommend it, Devlin. Good. I will look into the White March downloadable content. Thanks for letting me know.